fuel prices jump 80% in 2022, and AD Ports Group is taking a 70% stake in an Egyptian cargo carrier. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. The UAE increased petrol prices for the fifth time this year, with the price of OPEC's third largest producer jumping about 80% since the start of the year. The latest price hike further widens the gap with other regional oil producers who subsidize their fuel, while the UAE deregulated prices in 2015. Petrol is now 3 times more expensive in the UAE than in Kuwait, and more than double the average price per liter from the rest of the GCC. AD Ports Group is acquiring a 70% stake in international associated cargo carrier for $140 million. It's the latest in a series of deals by the ports operator in the Egyptian maritime sector. It's also the port giant's first international acquisition. It will be fully funded from the company's existing cash reserves, which stood at over $817 million as of March 31st. AD Ports' net profit shot up 115% to $232.3 million in 2021 from $108 million a year earlier. China's Southern Airlines has inked a deal with Airbus to buy 96 A320neo jets. It's a major boost to the European plane maker over Boeing in the Chinese market share. China Southern says the order is worth $12.25 billion based on list prices. Shares of billionaire Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries slumped the most since December 2021 today. The fall came after India introduced export duties for petrol, diesel and jet fuel as part of the government's broader strategy to help boost domestic supplies. Shares of the Indian conglomerate closed 7.2% lower to $30.49. The government also imposed a windfall tax on oil producers that have benefited from higher global crude prices. The move is expected to dent the earnings of refiners that operate in India. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, where Mukesh Ambani is our biggest loser today on that Indian government decision. Ambani lost $6.1 billion today and now has net wealth of $88.4 billion. Our second biggest loser today is Elon Musk, down $2.9 billion with net wealth of $219.3 billion. And our third place loser is Jeff Bezos, down $2.7 billion with net wealth of $131.9 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest Billionaires news. Toyota has unveiled its first mass-market hybrid car for India, charting a new course for the Japanese automaker in one of the world's fastest-growing markets. The urban cruiser Hyryder SUV is the first car to be built by Toyota as part of a global alliance with Suzuki Motors. It will compete with Hyundai and Kia. Toyota is taking the hybrid route in developing markets like India, where infrastructure isn't ready for battery EVs and much of the electricity is generated using coal or other fossil fuels. Lamborghini plans to invest at least $1.88 billion to produce a hybrid lineup by 2024 and more to bring out its fully electric model by the end of the decade. It's the biggest investment in its history. The figure doesn't include funds for the development of its fully electric model. Like its rivals, Ferrari, Aston Martin, Lagonda and McLaren, Lamborghini is wrestling with how to shift its lineup to battery power without losing the high performance that supports its premium pricing. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.